So it's been a minute since I've been on the Hermitcraft server, and if you only watch Hermitcraft here, then you might have wondered where I've been and did I fall off the face of the earth. And in fact, no, I did not. I've just been doing some other projects that have kept me very, very busy. It all started a couple weeks ago. We had a new guest that build, me, Grian, Joel, Jimmy, Jem, and Skizz. This was like our fourth session, or my fourth session anyway. I missed one when I was on a vacation, but we did a guest that build. My theme was school memories. It was great. It was fantastic to see how different we all were from each other because, you know, we grew up in different countries and stuff, and we got a chance to find out what school was like for the others based off of a build that we had to do in less than 5 minutes in a wild prompt that we gave ourselves to, and we tried to see what would make it to the end of the line. If you guys aren't familiar with Guess the Build, really cool concept, really fun series. I recommend you check it out. I'll put links to all the things I talk about here in the description in case you are wondering and had missed those. But the other project that we did while I was away from Hermitcraft was a project, it was basically a like defend my castle type project. However, I made like a Greek fortress thing. It was to represent Mount Olympus, and of course I made it Olympus because, you know, I'm infatuated with myself. Anyway, it was a really fun video. I put a lot into it. It actually took me an entire week because I built basically a new map from ground up with challenges inside for my friends to try to conquer and a certain time limit. It was absolutely so much fun, but it was a lot of work and it kept me away from Hermitcraft, of course. So I hope you guys enjoyed that one. If you haven't seen it again, please go check it out. I think you really would enjoy that one. I pushed myself really hard to tackle things that I've never tackled in Minecraft before because, you know, I like learning. But aside from that, I actually went on a trip to beautiful San Diego to TwitchCon, and I was able to hang out with other hermits there. In fact, I shared a house with Jem, Pearl, Skizz, and Tango. We met up with Scar, Cub, and Joel. Saw a bunch of other friends like Scott Major and Dojo, and just so many people. I can't even name them all. But it was a fantastic weekend at TwitchCon. We did lots of things. We had a meet and greet. We had MCC Twitch Rivals live in front of a studio audience. It was fantastic. We had a whole cheering section for the Yellow Yaks, and the Yellow Yaks came so close to taking home the win. I was one arrow shot away from sealing the deal. Couldn't get it done. Shout out to Sneaksnag, who was absolutely amazing in the event, and the Red Rabbits took it. But that's okay. We had so much fun, and competing in front of people live was just an incredible experience. And then we had, of course, the Hermitcraft panel where we talked about what it has been like to be streaming together for over 10 years. That's right, it's been over 10 years, guys. We've been doing this a long time, but it was a fantastic panel. We chatted about a whole bunch of stuff. Again, there was a live studio audience there as well to attend, and we got to meet up with them even more afterwards for some more ad hoc meet and greet, and got a bunch of photos, signed autographs, all that stuff. So it was really cool experience, and I'm glad to be back home now. As much as that was so much fun, I am happy to be back home because this whole time I've been away from Hermitcraft for the last couple weeks, I have been thinking about what I want to do moving forward for Season 10. And I talked a little bit about this on the podcast, another project that has taken me away, the impulseSV podcast. By the way, if you guys don't know, if somehow you don't know, you've been living under a rock, or maybe I just haven't talked about it enough, Skizz and I, we actually have a podcast called the impulseSV podcast where we have a lot of guests on, a lot of content creators that you might know. Also, Skizz and I just talk about anything and everything involving our lives and things we've learned and stories from the past, all sorts of stuff. We're all over the place, but it's such a good podcast. At least that's what we're told. And I think you guys would enjoy it. We did have a podcast a few weeks ago where we talked about what we thought about Season 10, how it's been going, what we want to do in the future. So some of this stuff, if you did watch that podcast, some of this stuff I'm going to talk through again. But I do want to let you guys know, since, you know, you're here watching this main channel and you're watching the Hermitcraft video, exactly what I have in my head for what's to come now in Season 10, because there's it's been over 7 months, guys. If you're doing the math, I mean, we're rolling up on 8 months actually of Hermitcraft Season 10, which is insane. And I've been reflecting a bit because of that, with the realization of how long we've been doing this season. I've been doing some reflection, and I've been thinking about how it's been going. I've been thinking about my initial goals for the season, and one of those being that this Cyberpunk city that I've been working on, me and B-Dubs have been working on, I had initially planned for this to be done in about 6 months into the season. And here we are, all rolling up on 8 months, and it's nowhere near done. There's a lot of buildings left, and I don't have a single mini game done. I was gonna do like 8 to 10 mini games to make the whole Cyberpunk experience thing happen, which I still don't have a name for it. We got to figure out. But here we are, 8 months in, and we still got a lot of buildings to build. I don't have Metro Mayhem done. I've built this building for Dipple Drop, which, as you can see, I wasn't extremely satisfied with, so I'm continuing to modify in hopes that I eventually will be happy with it. In that line of thought, I've been thinking, you know what? It's time to get a little more focused. I've been a little chaotic, and I think that's the best word to describe how I've done this season so far. I've been a little chaotic. I've been all over the place. I've been tackling little things in Cyberpunk City and then jumping out and doing some farms and then doing, started this whole biosphere thing, which is another massive project. And I've been kind of all over the place. And I know that's probably been a little rough to follow so far this season because I haven't started something and seen it all the way through to completion. And I think a reason for that is because a lot of these projects I have are pretty big. They're pretty big projects, and I did suffer at the end of season 9 from burnout. As much as I never like to admit that I burn out from this thing I love, which is playing Minecraft and being on a server with my fellow hermits and making content for you guys, I never want to admit that I'm burning out from it because it just doesn't feel right, because it's such an amazing job to have and experience to have in life to live, that being burnt out from something like that just feels wrong. But it did happen. At the end of season 9, it did happen. And you noticed I didn't play a lot of Decked Out. I didn't finish the Dwarven Keep. I didn't finish iBuy. There was a lot of unfinished projects, and that was mainly because of burnout. And so looking at everything I had on my plate for this season, I've been really trying to make sure I wasn't going to burn out. And I think that's kind of the reason why I've been hopping around different projects and just tackling things little by little, was because I was afraid if I just stayed on one thing too long, I would experience burnout again. But I think I've actually swung the pendulum a little too far. I think I've gone a little too far into the worrying about that and becoming a bit scatterbrained when it comes to what I've been doing here in season 10. So with that said, I'm going to try to swing back into the middle and hopefully not overswing, because like I said, I'm still fearful burnout could be on the horizon if I do this incorrectly. But I want to get back to focusing on the Cyberpunk City. I think this is going to be the most amazing thing that the Hermitcraft server has ever seen, aside from Decked Out. I think it's going to be a great project, and I think they're going to have so much fun and able to create a lot of content from it, not just from the game, the overall game that we're designing here, but also giving a set for many other things that could be done to create content here on the Hermitcraft server. So I am going to tell you right now, if you're one of those people that have had a hard time kind of staying with me this season because I've been a bit scatterbrained, I'm going to do my best to become a little bit more focused. We're going to put a lot more energy now into the Cyberpunk City. We're going to continue to fill this city out between me and B-Dubs, and I'm going to start working on the games, and yeah, just a lot more focus. So that is what I have to say as I kind of make a return here to Hermitcraft. We'll call this a second wind, the next leg of the season, if you will. And I'm feeling a lot more energetic now. I think that break was actually perfect timing. It was needed for me to recharge the batteries and get a better focus and perspective on how the season's going and what I want to do moving forward. And I am absolutely jazzed to get to work. So hopefully that means more videos, more progress, and more fun times to be had. I hope that excites you as much as that excites me. So that's what I wanted to say opening this video. As you can see, I've made some changes to this building. We've turned off the lights. It was too bright. I fell in love with frog lights a little bit, and I dialed that back. So I spent a stream removing the frog lights and blacking out the windows so it looks a little more dystopian and abandoned. And I added on to this skyscraper here because it just felt, I don't know, it didn't feel quite right. It didn't feel cyberpunky enough to me. So hopefully this addition on the side makes it feel a little more cyberpunky, I guess. And I am going to have to move on. Basically, that's the other realization, is if I spend too much time worrying about every little detail on every build we do, we won't be able to get to the next thing. So not that I'm going to cut corners by any means, but it does mean we will have to make decisions and move forward in order to get everything done in the next couple months. And that's my new goal, I guess, is to get the Cyberpunk City done in the next couple months. So we're going to, like I said, focus up on it and get to work. Speaking of getting to work, look who got to work in here. Our Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles lair. Cleo has finished this, I guess, diorama? I don't know what we call this. It's just a scene here, right? And I hired Cleo to come in here, and she did an amazing job with the armor stands and stuff. We've got Donatello. We've got Michelangelo. Whoa. Did you just hear that ding? Did you just hear that ding? I think Skizzleman just got hit by one of my floating arrows. We were messing with him on a stream and had some arrows on Slime Block Launcher. It was pretty cool. Anyway, I wonder how long I'm going to be getting dings for. But look at this. Even this, we got Leonardo with the swords on his back and the shells. So amazing. And then this is awesome. This pizza sitting here. And then the TV. This TV looks a million times better than what I tried to do. Cleo absolutely knocked this out of the park. I'll probably do a little bit more to this room. I think I'm gonna actually shrink it a little bit because back here I want to have an entrance to like a little dojo that the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles will practice in. And Splinter, you know, he's standing here looking at these guys. He's like, hey guys, we got to get back to work, back to training. You got training to do. You got bad guys to fight and stuff. So I think if we put a little dojo in back here, that'd make sense. It'd be kind of cool. And we're gonna close this off. I've decided. I was going this way with the tunnel, but I decided we're gonna close this off. Have people run through here so they get a chance to actually see this scene, and then they can run through the dojo and then maybe back out and around. That's kind of my idea. So I'm gonna get working on that next, I think. And like I said, we're charging forward. We're gonna try to finish Metro Mayhem in the next couple weeks, I think. And then we'll move on to maybe the Dipple Drop game. And I got a few other games that I want to get to right away as well that won't be as big in size. So we should be able to crank those out pretty quickly. And then I'm gonna talk to B-Dubs and see what buildings he wants to tackle next. And we'll get some more of those going. Woo, lots to do. So exciting. But before we get to work, I think I'm going to pay Cleo for the job here. And because we had such an easy time looting the Deep Dark, the Ancient Cities, and we were able to get all these Swift Sneak books, and Cleo does sell these Swift Sneak books for a pretty hefty price, actually, because they are usually pretty difficult to get. Well, I've got a whole shulker box full of Swift Sneak 3, 2, and 1 books that Cleo could sell in her shop. So I think that's a pretty good payment. So we'll just go ahead and, oh, we got to put this in the right way here. We can put that there. If I remember how to use the mail system. It has been a little while since I've actually mailed anything. We'll put Cleo's stamp in there so it will make it to Cleo and enjoy. Hopefully that is good payment enough for all the work Cleo did on that scene. Because, yeah, that did look like a ton of work. But, man, it was so good. I just remembered something. And it's a good thing I remembered it now because we've only got a couple days left. It's the plushes. Remember the plushes that I announced last video that are for sale? Yeah, that's right. Makeship.com is doing the Mayhem block battle sale where you can get, you know, me and Corrales and Ren and Skizz and Zenith bundles for percentage off and stuff like that. There's only a couple days left, guys. I need to get going myself because I wanted to get myself a Skizzleman plushie because, you know, I got to support my best friend and all. So if you guys were thinking about it and holding off and trying to decide, well, you got a couple days left. So I just wanted to remind you before the sale is over, link in the description if you guys want to get your hands on one. Appreciate the support. All right, so keeping to my promise, we're back here, Metro Mayhem. We are going to work on the next section, which I think off of this room here, what I envision is a cool dojo right next to where they chill out and hang out and play games and eat pizza. They got to come in here and work it off afterwards. So we're going to make this kind of look like a nice dojo, and I'll put in some bamboo flooring. We got to get the ceiling in and maybe some other instruments that you might see in a like karate type dojo. The idea is then you'll run through this room. Maybe you have to get through a couple of those kind of like obstacles of that equipment and then turn in here, and this gets back into the sewer system. So I'm gonna go get some materials together and we'll see if we can make this look like a proper dojo. I'm not usually one to pat myself on the back, but I'm super proud about this one because I did some armor stand magic in the dojo and here it is. I think it looks fantastic. Look at this place. Here's the bamboo I was talking about. And I saw a picture of like a karate dojo and it had one of these things. I don't know what it's for really. I don't know if you like kick and punch or you got to jump through. I don't know, but Michelangelo obviously was too lazy to hang his nunchucks up where they're supposed to go. You mean Leonardo hung his sword up and Donatello with his bow, and even Raphael hung one of his sais up. I usually has 2, but I couldn't be bothered. This actually took 3 armor stands to make, and I still couldn't get the proper side. But anyway, close enough. It looks pretty cool, right? So there's that, and we've got a little bit of decoration. Look, of course, we got to get the karate painting up on the wall. Hello? Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's still a river underneath the city. You guys remember the river, right? Me either. Anyway, so I think it looks pretty good. I think this looks great. And obviously the idea is we come running through, we see that scene that Cleo did, and then we come into here, the dojo, and I'm going to have to do something about that. And then we come running out here, and we got to get back in the sewer. I need to clean this up. However, I'm afraid to break blocks at the moment because I don't want water rushing in here. I don't know what that's going to do, actually, with armor stands. It could potentially push them around. Every one of these little sticks sticking out, that's an armor stand. Took 3 armor stands for that guy. 3 for that one, 2 for this one, 1 for that. I mean, there's armor stands everywhere at this point. Oh, also got a little punching bag. That's pretty cool, right? Little punching bag. Need a little workout. See, armor stands up there as well to give the little brace at the top. Did I mention I'm proud of myself? I did armor stands. It's actually really easy now. I mean, still got to be a little bit creative, but you can just shift right click somewhere. There it is. And now we got this thing where you can actually like pick all the different armor stands that are in the area. You can kind of look and see what has what. Kind of hard to tell, but if we scroll down, look, we got Cleo's stuff here. A little more intense than my stuff there. But anyway, that was super helpful in being able to pick which armor stand we wanted to modify. So I learned a little bit of the armor stand mod by doing this, and I think from here on out, I'll probably be able to do some things on my own. However, there is one scene that I want to get done that I probably will ask for some more help on. So the idea is to get back in the sewer. This is where we're going to have our wind charge tunnel happening, where they got to dodge wind charges. If you guys watched that Defend My Temple video that I released last week, then you'll know what I'm talking about with like the wind charges firing at people as they're trying to get through. Gonna do something similar to that. I think it'll be super fun to do in this tunnel. But as they turn the corner, the idea is right about here, I want to have like Shredder, Bebop, and Rocksteady kind of like coming down through like a manhole that's in the city and kind of peeking down under and holding like a blueprint of the underground sewer system as if they were looking to locate the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles base. And that one's probably a little more intense than I'm capable of. So I'm hoping Cleo will be willing to do another one for me. Of course, I can pay her in more books or whatever else Cleo might want. But all right, I just want to clean up this bit just a little bit just to you know, because you can kind of see it as you come through, and it kind of does ruin this vibe right here. So I think if I left all my materials just over here, if we have hopefully some tuff left, which we do. Okay, I might need some walls. I'll just grab everything. And it seems like that's all I really have left. Okay, I'm going to cut up just a few more of these guys. Okay, 12 should hopefully be enough. And please no flood. In fact, I think what I'm going to do, just to be safe, I'm just going to put these there so if water does come, it's not going to flood inside. See, I'm being extra cautious here. And the interesting thing is I put these bricks here because you can actually see them kind of in the corners. But I think I'm going to swap those out with tuff. Okay, moment of truth here. Are we making a flood? No, we're good. Okay. Okay, I'm just going to frame this out a little bit, I think. And we'll cover that hole right there. And then, of course, we're going to need to figure out how to turn this back into like a sewer tunnel right here. We're going to have to wall this part off. There's no reason to have this section. They're not going to want to like come through and backtrack. I don't want them to even look that way. But I think something like that will end up looking okay. Maybe even some slabs right there. Yeah, that's not bad. And we did it. We didn't even flood the place. Excellent. I think I just got a good idea for what to do with this section. I think I'm going to do a giant fan right here and then have it kind of animated, and then the wind charges are coming from back here. So as you come through, the fan's there. You won't obviously be able to go right. And as you turn your back to it, the wind charges will be firing from behind you, so you won't see them coming to know how to dodge them. I think that is a perfect use of this space. But I think I'll save that for next episode, actually, because I've been gone for a while, and one thing I've been worried about is the stock of my shops. I'm wondering if I've sold out of anything. I don't want to get, obviously, in trouble with the Popo for not keeping my shop stocked. So I think we better go take a look and just see how they're doing. All right, let's check on our quartz shop first of all. And I'm not seeing empty boxes for, well, there's a couple, I guess. And I'm actually seeing quartz, which means there's no diamonds in here, just quartz. So we've still got a little bit. Doesn't look like we have a ton of stock, but there's enough here that we won't get in any kind of trouble if the Popos swing by. They won't see that it's completely out or anything. Okay, this one, we've sold a couple stacks of quartz blocks, so we'll add that to our ledger. 9 more diamonds. Excellent. Not bad. Not bad. In fact, do we keep our ledger in here? I think it's in this one right here. This is our ultra fancy box. Yes, I need to organize my ender chest a lot better than I have it now, and that would probably help us, you know, get things done faster. So we're just gonna add this to our quartz shop. So we're at 911. In fact, that reminds me, we need to let Azuma know how many diamonds we've collected from our shops so that we can up our new trophy here. I don't remember. Maybe we'll just hold out for 1,000. We are getting close, and I'm assuming There's a one for 1,000. We need to go take a look, actually. I have no idea. So I think I will AFK a little bit and try to get that stock back. Let's go check our greenhouse here and see if we've sold any grass. I can't imagine we've sold much. I don't know how popular grass is, but okay, all right. We've sold a couple stacks there. I think this was from Etho and Cub, actually. And then we've sold maybe one more. What about the shulker boxes? Hey, somebody actually bought a full shulker box. Okay, this is great. So I'll collect these. This is the first time I've added up any grass diamonds. We'll take these back and we'll put those back in the dropper for the game. In fact, I think we should go down and check on the game. But before I forget, I better do the ledger on this one too. So we need to make a new entry for grass. And we sold 24 diamonds worth. So if we add these together, that would be 931 plus 24. That is 55? 955 diamonds. We're getting awfully close to 1,000. And I'll put these away for safekeeping. And let's go see if anybody's been playing Go Touch Grass. Let's see if there's any new high scores. All right, looks like a few more names have been added to the list. Gem has played, got 7. Scar with 9. Cub with 11. And Corrales with 17. Excellent. Hopefully they're enjoying the game. I need to check to just make sure that nothing has gotten broken with it at all. And the way I do that is basically if this is stocked up, then we're good. It looks like we are missing 1 sugarcane and 1 kelp somehow, but that's not something to be super worried about. We just make sure these all have, yeah, it's looking good. So potentially somebody just walked out with a sugarcane and a kelp. Not a big deal until that starts to run low. I might just top it off just in case, but I'm glad to see that people are playing Go Touch Grass and we've made some sales, which I didn't expect. Winning. Guys, I am so excited to be back on Hermitcraft and I get back to work. I had a good time with all the things we did outside of Hermitcraft, but I have been missing it and I've been missing you guys. I just want to say thank you for being patient with me and hopefully you are excited about the rest of the season as much as I am and all the things to come. So thank you so much. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, please hit the like button. If you're not subscribed, make sure you do that before you go. And with that said, I'll see you again next time. Have a good one, everyone.